Welcome to All Is Well. I'm Dinah Krebs, your host. And on this podcast, we share inspiring stories of resilience and perseverance. Let's journey together to uncover the secrets to living life to the fullest, where we all live well.
Recording in progress.
Hi, this is Diana Krebs with All Is Well podcast, and we are here with Malik. He has got two different agencies. He's got his Grow X Impact, which is his coaching business, and he's already coached me so much this morning. So I really appreciate all of his knowledge. And his other agency is the Next Digital Media, which is his content creation, working with big brands like Rolex. And so he's probably an excellent person to follow and to just learn from. And so that's what this podcast is about, hearing people's stories and learning from them. And so I'm just going to pass the mic over and let him talk.
Of course. First of all, thank you so much. It's great to be on here. And I wish you the best of luck for starting this journey. It's a long journey, but it's well worth it. So yeah, as beautiful Diana said, my name is Sufian Malik, and I run two agencies. One of them is a paid ads agency, also a white label agency, as well as a content creation agency, where we have worked with massive brands for content creation and consulting. And recently, over the last couple of months, 12 to 14 months, I've also gotten into the coaching space where I teach people how they can start their own agencies as well. And since the agency and the coaching business model is kind of the same, so yeah, I teach coaches as well to grow their impact and their profits and revenue as well, with my unique methods, such as the viral reel method. So that's about me.
I love that. So tell me how you got started in this space.
So I was 18 years old when I started teaching English. So I'm based in Tripoli, Libya. So there's a lot of demand, not a lot of people speak English here. I was like, great market. And everybody at that time, whoever was at the age of 18 was working in cafes, not making very good income. So
yeah,
I was like, So I was like, time to do something different. So I became an English teacher. I was working 10 hours a day. Over the span of 1.5 years, I taught over 1,400 students, adults. And I was like, great, I loved it. But I'm not making enough money, so I gotta start at least a company. So I was like, there you go. We started a content creation agency. And within the first 5 months, we signed over 10 clients. So it differs. If you're doing paid ads for 20 clients, that's different as compared to a content creation agency. Because we do photo sessions, we make videos for them, we are doing content creation for them along with promotion and management. So that's a lot of work. And then, just from 2019 up to 2022, we have worked with massive brands, Bugatti clothing line, La Martina, Rolex, Tissot, done tons of content creation for them, locally, internationally, and consulted them. And well over 70 clients now, apart from my international agency. That's how it all started. So I was like, then I was like, I was an English teacher, which means I have the passion to teach people. And now I have this massive experience of running my agency. So why not combine, those two things together and get into coaching? So here we are. And here I'm teaching the exact same strategies that I've used with my clients to help them generate 6, 7, and over 8 figures as well. Yes, that's it.
That's awesome. Where do you think your ambition came from at such an early age?
So basically, back in 2017, before I started teaching English, I stumbled across dropshipping. I was like, this is really cool. And back in the day, 2017, dropshipping was very, very new. And I was like, everybody was like, hey, you can start with $100, which was possible. But the place where I was living in, we had a lot of bank problems. We didn't have credit cards. So I saved up my first $100, from my first job. That was also an English teaching job. And I invested into it. So dropshipping is a business model where you can learn a lot about marketing. You can learn about copywriting, paid advertising, organic, what works in the market, learning people's pain points. So that taught me a lot. And then over the course of years, I tried to get into dropshipping, but kind of failed, not gonna lie there, because mainly of the bank problems that we have here. But that taught me a lot. That got me into the marketing space. That led me to creating an agency. And then now, here we are.
That's awesome. What about like when you were a child? Like, what was your kind of ambition and goal?
So until the age of 11, I was just like freewheeling every single thing, just like a normal kid would do. But at the age of 12, I got into Photoshop and I was doing tons of graphic design, not getting paid for it, just learning, got into After Effects, digital animation. And then at the age of 13, I could do interior designing very well, design living rooms very well using 3ds Max and V-Ray back in the day. So that sparked, a passion. And then high school got in the way, failed there a couple of times because I was this creative kid, which it just didn't go with me. I was like, when I grew up a bit more, I was like, I can make my own decisions. So time to skip the college or university phase and get straight to my passion. And that's that.
That's great. You hear a lot about that, successful entrepreneurs who just didn't do well in that traditional school role. Did you always know there was more out there for you?
Yeah, so until sixth grade, I was doing very well. And then after eighth grade, I started dropping. My grades started dropping. I was like, this isn't for me, physics and maths.
Yeah. It wasn't really
I totally don't understand very well. Not financially because I was a kid, but I was doing very well in terms of creating designs, videos, and all that. And I just monetized that over the past couple of years. So yeah, it's really not important if you have enough self-control and you hold yourself accountable. Because in university, they force you to learn. You pay the fee and you're forced to go there. Otherwise, you're going to be short on attendance, right?
Right.
And then you'll have problems with your semester. I don't know how these things work. But in the world of online business or entrepreneurship, it's just like, a dog, holding himself from his tail, right? So you're just leading your own self. So there's no one controlling you. So that becomes very challenging in terms of procrastination. So it's very challenging to stay focused, especially when there are days that things aren't working well for you.
Right, right. And people telling you what to do. I went to college and I don't think I ever used my degree in I was in medical sales and now I'm a coach and now I'm starting a podcast and none of that had anything to do with anything my degree was in. Yeah. So now I just want my money back. But so tell me what's like your best piece of advice?
Generally to who? To people starting out their businesses?
Somebody starting their own business, yes.
Okay. So basically, let's talk about coaches, right? Since you're in the same space as well. First of all, online coaching business is not a get-rich-quick. A lot of people, mistake that. You'll work 1, 2, 3 months and you'll get a couple of clients. That's totally not the game. And the new thing that I've recently seen that's happening over the past couple of months, not even years, is that people are more focused on their personal brands. Instead of just promoting your coaching business, once you start to promote your personal life and how you operate, because people like honesty. Because 10 years ago, people were just painting an image of themselves that this is how things work. But now when people get to see the backstage of your life, they're more interested. How you operate, how you deal with loss, and how you deal with failures. And that is what gets them connected to you on a personal level. And then you start growing your business and signing clients here and there, right and left, very easily. So personal brand in terms of growing your coaching business is the most important thing. And that starts happening not by just creating a Facebook page, not just by creating a Facebook group, but putting yourself out there in the world, creating long-form content, such as YouTube videos. I understand that's a lot of work, but if you can't do that, there's a solution for that. You can either go on the long-form side, from which you can take that long piece of content, that's a YouTube video, cut it down into multiple short-form contents. You can repost on TikTok, Instagram, and go viral. It takes one video, just like in dropshipping, it takes one product to change your life. But in your personal brand, or as a course creator, or as an online coach, it only takes 1 or 2 pieces of content to change the whole game for your social accounts. So say one of your videos went viral and hit 1 million views, you have a lot of people reaching out to you for help. So you can either, if you're lucky enough, and let's say you start posting content today on TikTok and Instagram using specific methods to go viral, if you're lucky enough, you can go viral tomorrow or the next week. Otherwise, it might take you 2-3 months of experimenting and failing and seeing what works and what doesn't work and reading the data. But at the end of the day, it's worth it. Because you are growing yourself and you're creating an impact as well. And that's how I came up with the name for my new coaching business, which is grow, at the same time you're impacting people. And what's the byproduct of that? You're making money as well.
Yeah, that's always a plus, right? That's the bottom line at the end of the day. Just because that's what feeds our family.
Of course.
So tell me really quickly, what do you think that the very first thing somebody should do to get started to become like an entrepreneur?
So the number one thing is mindset. Because, and as I mentioned it before, that if you start out with a mindset of get rich quick, you're going to fail this game very, very quickly. So know that it does take time. It does take 4 years to graduate. It does take a couple of years for you to get a promotion on a job. And entrepreneurship is not a magic. So it does take time, and you got to have, so this mindset of never giving up. The last 5-6 years, I've had, and I recently posted this on my Facebook as well, that I've had more failures than success in the last 5 years. Mostly because where I live and the banking problem, so I've lost a lot of money at the same time. Mm-hmm. I couldn't catch on to certain trends, which could have made me extremely wealthy, but I couldn't because of the place where I live in. I could have given up, gotten back to my, teaching job, whatever. I was also a digital marketing manager, and I was managing a team of 30 people before I started my marketing agency. I forgot to mention that. So you can either go back, but it's all about not giving up. And how do you not give up? By staying stress-free. And how do you stay stress-free? Is when you take the information and you implement it right away. It's useless to watch tons of pieces of content and not implement it. You're just building up this burden on your shoulders, and then you just get overwhelmed. What do I do? Do I create a YouTube channel? Do I go with Facebook cold outreaching, Instagram DM outreaching, cold whatever? Just take one step, implement it fast with speed. Instead of planning out, okay, so I'm going to do this week, next week this is going to happen, the third week this is going to happen. Guess what you're doing? You're just slowing yourself down. So the failure you're going to experience in 6 months, you're going to experience in 1 year, as compared to if you're moving with speed, instead of just saying, okay, instead of getting these 2 things done in the next 2 weeks, let's get it done this week. Because at the end of the day, this is what's going to help you survive out there. So, I think speed is something that removes stress because you're taking action. It gives you data faster to read on and change things accordingly, and that changes the game for you. So never giving up and fast implementation, speed, is a way to go.
Right, we're so inundated. You need to get on this platform, and this platform, and this platform, and this platform. Do you suggest just getting on the first one that you're most comfortable with, or is there the best platform to use? Is it Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, like LinkedIn? Where do you suggest people start?
Yeah, so when it comes to business, so I train twice a day. I do kickboxing in the morning, I do weightlifting in the evening. So I'm a person that has a very, very strong mindset, and I'm very tough. Mm-hmm. So there's no such thing as being comfortable, okay? Because if you're on Facebook and you're not comfortable being on TikTok or Instagram, what's the result of being only on Facebook? You're gonna get slower results.
Right.
So you gotta see what's working for other people, your competitors, and you gotta remove that being uncomfortable part, because business it doesn't have mercy on anyone. You're just not gonna survive in the long term. So if you're starting out, let's say, okay, you wanna take it easy, I would say start with a community. And because now Facebook is getting very, very saturated, but it still works. You can sign a lot of clients from Facebook, but there's very, very limited reach. What you can do is utilize the power of short form content, such as TikTok Reels, Instagram Shorts. They work very well. You can reach thousands of people organically, and you can go viral. And then you lead those people to your community, and where you can charge them, $10 a month, $97 a month, $47 a month. So, which is, the new way to go. But you gotta stay on 2 to 3 platforms at least. Instagram and TikTok is non-negotiable. You gotta stay on it. You gotta create short-form content. And then Facebook is a must as well. LinkedIn, it works very well for a lot of people, but I don't personally use it.
You don't personally use it, okay. What's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
Well, they can reach out to me on Instagram. Instagram and my Facebook account as well.
Okay.
Yes.
And we'll link those up to this.
For For sure, at
What?
Podcast-Sufian.
Yeah. Awesome. Is there anything else that you would like to tell our audience?
Very, very simple. If you're into the online business space, don't have an ego mindset. If you have a coach as well that's already coaching you, they don't know every single thing in the world. They might be better than me and thousands of other coaches, but always be open to new ideas. Because when I was starting my coaching business back in the day, a lot of people were like, okay, hey, we have a coach, but this and that. And then today, I see their profiles. They were last posted was 6 months ago. They have given up. So always be open to ideas. Even if, because a couple of months back, I was starting it was a new coaching business, but I have that 5 years of experience running a content creation agency, working with coaches, personal trainers, and different businesses. So, someone might be new in the game, but sometimes I can give you a piece of advice that can work really well for you. So always be open to ideas and implement with speed. That's it. Open
to ideas, implement with speed. You've mentioned speed a few times in here, and just get going and leave the stress at the back door.
And I would like to add it in here. I think last week I hosted a free masterclass, and I just did it to prove people wrong. Within 7 days, I created a brand new funnel. I targeted a whole new audience, cold audience, new offer. Every single thing was new. Within 7 days, I got 45 leads by just promoting 30 minutes a day. So that might not be a big number. I didn't spend any money on ads. So it's all about speed.
Yeah.
Within that 1 week, 7 to 8 days, I built up my funnel. I did the email sequences. I posted in multiple groups to get organic traffic. I created a few reels that got me a couple of leads, and they're still coming in, right? And then I hosted the masterclass. Within 7 days, total new offer, every single thing is brand new, boom, 45 leads. So you can at least sell one of your programs to those 45 leads for $5,000. It's all about speed. I could have said, this week I'm going to get the funnel done. Next week I'm going to get the email sequences done. The week after that, I'm going to sit down and I will write down 30 pieces of content ideas. I was like, no, just let's go at it. Let's see what works.
Yeah.
A lot of posts didn't go viral, but some of them did. That got me 45 leads. So speed is the key to success.
Speed is the key to success. I love that.
Exactly.
Well,
Yes.
I really appreciate your time today. And is there anything you feel like we haven't covered that you'd like to say? Or I know you just kind of went over the...
I think whatever we have covered is enough for people who are in the online space to get them going, to get them started, to post their next post video as soon as possible. And I think if there's anything else that I would say more than this, that would be just extra stuff for them to just watch and listen to and feel good about their business that doesn't exist or that's not even making money yet. So I think the information we covered is enough actionable information for people to start seeing results.
So the first thing they need to do is post something. The second thing they need to do is get on Instagram and find you. And that's how they're going to get going.
Of course. I would love to, create a bigger impact.
I love it. Okay, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time today.
Perfect. Thank you for having me.